85% of analytics and IT leaders are under pressure to quantify the ROI from Gen AI. They interviewed 200 C-suite executives. Sample size is like, so-so. It's not tiny, but it's not that big. 37% are measuring success qualitatively measuring success. That's interesting. And 59% are measuring success quantitatively. I love the idea of analytics leaders measuring success qualitatively. It kind of warms my heart in this ironic sort of way. This is just going to get harder and harder and harder to measure. I mean, how do you measure it to begin with? It's a little easier if you're, say, deploying a chatbot to augment support or something, and you have this kind of isolated project that you can say, that's our AI thing, that's our Gen AI project that we deployed. How much did we spend on that project, and how much money and time is the deployment of that chatbot or whatever saving our organization? A lot of things people are doing is kind of weaving it into their normal workflows. Are your developers getting more efficient because they're using Copilot or Cursor? Is your content team or marketing team getting more efficient because they're using some sort of Gen AI copywriting tool? To measure that, you would have had to already have really solid instrumentation on the performance and efficiency of those departments pre and post integrating AI, because it's not like you flip a switch and then all of a sudden all the teams are using it at the same level of adoption. There's a learning curve there too, so it's sort of, there's a gradient, right, to measure. And then beyond that, a lot of times AI or Gen AI is being deployed throughout products in just lots of different ways that aren't so obvious. Maybe it's kind of behind the scenes doing some sort of manipulation on the text output before it gets sent over to the user. Maybe it's doing a little bit of fact checking before the user actually sees the content. How do you measure the ROI on electricity? How do you measure the ROI on the operating system? These are just two of the metaphors that have been thrown around to contextualize Gen AI. This is a very kind of low-level fundamental technology. As it continues to permeate throughout the fabric of the industry, throughout the fabric of all digital product ecosystems, our ability to measure the ROI on it's going to degrade because it will simply become just part of tech, and everything will have kind of AI sprinkled into it somehow, somewhere, and it's not going to be this sort of isolated thing that you can separate and do this very clean sort of cohort-based, A/B test-based comparison to measure the ROI.